love to hear more of it, and thank you very much. I tried to show off for our Zoom host, John, that the other piece that he was reading was from the most recent issue of Down in the Dirt magazine, which I don't believe you've received yet, because if you don't have CC&D, and it is titled Where Icarus Went. Somebody has a piece of writing in there, and I thought, why don't I get myself an eclipse photo in there? Especially because in 2 months, a total solar eclipse is going to be coming through the United States. So, and we're getting like 3 minutes of it in Austin, so I don't have to go anywhere this time. It's going to be going through Southern Illinois. It's bringing up, I don't know how close it is to the East Coast, John, but it's April 8th is the day for it, and I thought it was appropriate when this was coming 2 months before it was coming, so I thought this would be a perfect thing to be able to show for the cover of the book. So I'm sharing with you 3 poems that are in the end of this, and they have images from shows when I would do them, so there's just small little show, small little images from them for it. The first one I was going to share with you is titled Traveling Through Space. I mean, no, that was the one I looked at in this book. The one I was going to read with you is Expecting the Stoning, the long one at the beginning. Dun, 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 Expecting the Stoning. You know how you want a popsicle and you want it for the longest time and you don't even know what it's going to taste like when you get it, and when you finally get it and it tastes oh so good, and then you have some of it and then you want to save it so you can have it later, and then you realize that in order to keep that popsicle from disappearing, it has to stay in the freezer to avoid melting and becoming just a liquid pile of remains instead of what you wanted. That it had to stay in the freezer in order to survive, and you couldn't stay there with it. It was meant to be cold forever or consumed. It was either one or the other. They taught you that fact when you were little. You can't have it both ways. You could try, and it might be fun at first, but everyone knows it'll hurt later on, and it will. I think what I liked the most about you was the theory of romance. No, wait, that wasn't it. It was the fact that it was forbidden, that you were a friend of a friend, and this wasn't quote-unquote supposed to be happening. But I liked the idea of being with you. I could travel across the country to see you. The thought of you and the times we had behind everyone's backs, those times were like poems to me. And maybe looking back, we weren't technically together when we couldn't even tell anyone we were together in the first place. But it was still nice for me to fantasize. And what did it get me? Maybe my problem is that it was all in my head. And maybe I didn't realize that novelty would wear off for you, like that you were just like the average American, and after 20 seconds of watching a television show, you'd want to change a channel with that remote control in the arm of your chair. I didn't know you were a popsicle that would melt when you were exposed to any sunlight or any heat at any time. I didn't know you had problems. Don't we all? We all don't go to psychiatrists and stay on medications. Maybe I didn't know how bad your problems were. I didn't know that you were a snowman that I had made in the backyard of my house in the winter when I was little. A snowman that was fully equipped with a carrot nose, like Pinocchio. No, wait, like you. With no hair, like you. With black rocks for eyes, like you. And yeah, that snowman melted with spring, like you. And maybe I should have learned my lesson from that damned snowman. I guess there was a lot about you I didn't know. Because in so many ways, I didn't know you. I remember how little kids would want to build snowmen in the winter. They didn't seem to mind that the snowman eventually grew and was going away. I hated the cold, so I didn't play in the snow as much. Maybe in playing these little games, everyone learned their lesson, and maybe they learned something that I should have learned. I should expect the stoning for what I'm bound to receive, for telling you that I know what you have done. that I want the rest of the world to know it too. I will expect the stoning. With times, maybe I've been getting used to the punishments for telling truths even when people don't want to hear it. And I don't want to be your savior, and I don't want to be your prophet. I don't want to be that for anyone. I think I'm too cocky to be a good leader anyway. So, thank you for getting my hopes up and then blowing them away with one breath from your lips, like anyone could do to a pile of sand or table salt spilled on the counter. Because I think I needed to learn that lesson. And in a way, for now, I only have you to thank for it. That was a long one called Expecting the Stoning, and I think these were in a show back called The Messenger. That was what it was called. It was at Cafe Mestizo in Chicago. Vittorio Carli, Carl J. Vinci online is the guy that hosts these things. A lot of them happen toward the south side, and so that is a person for a monthly show that might be going on for you, Lorna, so that you would know that one. And
What's
hello.
the name?
I can email that stuff to you. I will do that for you, Lorna.
Okay,
Hi.
put it in the chat.
Okay, I
Put it in
will.
the chat. Yeah, great, thanks.
Something. So, hi, Susan's here. Yay. Yay, she's back. I'm gonna read 2 poems, and then would you like to go in 2 rounds if you would like to read now and then read toward the end? Is that good with you, Susan?
Whatever you like. It's fine.
Okay, then hopefully you'll be ready after I'm done, and then I'll go to John as we go in the next round. So this is the second of 3. This one is also, I believe, from that same show, and it is a shorter one called Let the War Begin. My silence is my only choice. My silence is my weapon, as it is with you, as it is with all of us. To go against all instinct and not fight. This is my weapon, to keep us alive and bury the truth. This is the way I keep my sanity, but I keep our sanity, but lose mine. Isn't that the way it always goes? Me giving in first. You say this isn't what you want, but your actions speak novels to me. And I've read this book before. Nothing is pure when you destroy purity. Nothing is sacred when there is no God and no hope. I've lost my battles, and now I need new defenses. I've thrown down the gauntlet. Let the war begin. As I said, oh, wow, these are like tough little short ones. This one was, and I'm looking at it, Civil War. I just passed Civil War in the book. This one, as I had said, was in the show The Messenger in Chicago. I'm just showing one shot for you guys for this. But the last one I'm going to share with you is a short one. I'll probably say it a few times because this is how big it is. It's a poem called Moonlight. That's the last one I'm going to share in this book for you guys. It's been in a number of shows, which is why I've got all these things. This is Moonlight. Moonlight is a hypnotist, putting people in a trance. Whenever you look at it, it takes over your soul. No one can stop it, but no one wants to. Oddly appropriate that happens to be in the book that has this clip photo on the front cover for it in this most recent issue of Down in the Dirt magazine. This was done in a bunch of shows in Astronomy 101 back when I was hosting my open mic, and this was at the cafe before I went to someplace else. I know, it's just, I had put stuff up on the wall of astronomy references. I was a feature in this would be in Texas when I was the finale feature of astronomy stuff for a night sky festival, and yes, John was even playing the guitar for me on it. But I wish Tom were here. This is also one of the things I read for a poetry bomb in a different year. We would pick different places, and when I was here, I said, let's go to the graffiti wall, which always changed and had different stuff up on it. The graffiti wall no longer exists, so it's fun to have all this stuff with all this artwork in the background, and why I had put graffiti on pieces of paper around me. But anyway, And apparently it was in the book chapter 38 long ago as well. But anyway, that was the poem Moonlight. And because it's almost haiku length, I'll read it again. And you're wondering, why aren't you reading it? Because I know it is so short. Moonlight is a hypnotist, putting people in a trance. Whenever you look at it, it takes over your soul. No one can stop it, but no one wants to. Okay, I'm done with my readings, and that was from the most recent issue of Down the Dirt magazine with the appropriate lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse on the cover. I'm hoping that I will get to have Susan read before we'll go on to John F. McMullen. So are you ready to read, my darling? I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. Are you ready?